Those daytime hours, expect mostly sunny skies, highs stable, 60 degrees. Afternoon hours in the IE area, sunshine, highs 62. Afternoon hours in the Coachella Valley, sunshine dominates, highs are in the upper 60s. I'm forecaster Jimmy O'Neill for Smart Talk 1490 KMET.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio KMET 1490 AM. It is well, you know what? It's one of those things where you ever get, okay, you know how you wake up in the morning and you're like, okay, I'm ready. And then things are kind of weird. And then you like, I don't know, and then you watch stuff and you're like, oh, what's going on in the world? I don't get it. And then just things are kind of weird. So if you ever have an experience like it's weird, just send me a message because I feel like people are like experiencing some weird stuff around the world. Anyway, it's Jess over there. Jess, good morning. Welcome to the show. What's going on?
Good morning. It's a beautiful morning today, nice and chill. So hopefully it doesn't get super hot.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so speaking of chill, it's a chill thing when you are like, chill, right? But this happened and I saw this. It came up on my feed. We do follow our friends over at ABC7. Go follow them. They're on Instagram. They post some pretty good stuff. But I saw this video and I said, huh? And then I said, what? And then I said, I don't know. I don't get it. But I saw this video and I said, okay, what would, like, I don't know what anyone would do, but I would say this. This person had someone looking out for her because she missed it by, like, I don't even know, like like how many milliseconds or seconds before going forward she went like around and back. I don't know what she heard first. I don't know what she did, but she didn't go all the way that she could have, and she could have been crushed by a boulder, a huge one, by the way. And it's well, let me put it this way, Jess. If that happened to you and you were on vacation, what would you do?
Oh, if I was on vacation and a giant boulder came through the home,
Yeah.
yeah, end of vacation. That would probably kill my mood.
End of vacation. I say end of. I don't know. I would be like, thank you God, thank you God, thank you God, thank you, thank you, thank you. Right. Whatever protects. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this happened. It was actually. I don't, it wasn't on a vacation. This was their home. But the home is in Hawaii. Okay, so I'm going to say that, and then people are going to be like, "Oh, okay, well that makes sense." No, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's the type of thing that doesn't make sense. Okay, this was the scene. What you see there in the blurry picture, okay, if you're listening on the radio, we thank you so much. If you're listening on any of our audio devices, we thank you so much. But if you go to our feed on Facebook, either on Twitter or on LinkedIn or Instagram, you will see what just almost crushes a woman by, like, I don't even know, like a millisecond, a second, a half a second. It just goes right through, like I'm visiting, goodbye. And that's a boulder. A 5 foot, I don't know if they weighed it. That's a heavy boulder, Jess. It comes crushing into the home, through the wall, and all the way. Is that the kitchen that it's going into, Jess? What is it?
I have no idea. I saw the video and it just like it looked like two things. One, wrecking crew is there, or two, Kool-Aid Man is attacking their home. So
Hey, remember that? Like when he goes
it
right through,
was so
crashing
funny.
through the wall, kind of like Black Adam. Remember, they're like, "Do you use a door? What's wrong with you?" He's like, "No, I don't." Carolyn Sasaki was walking into her living room in Honolulu on Sunday. Now, the reason they have footage of this, okay, before you go, no, this can't be real, is she has one of those devices, or the family does, in the home, like a ring. Okay, I used to have one like this, and I loved it. I talk about it. I say, why not have it in a public area? You can, like, especially if you have like a ring device or something, you can, like, you could check in on your, maybe your whatever you want to check in on. You could check in, right? And you could do so from, like, your phone. If you have like guests, it's kind of weird, but you want to let them know that. But if you have, like, I don't know, but it's good for stuff like this, guaranteed, right? Like if you had a babysitter, that's good. You don't have it for that. But they have it on the inside. Okay, so you're wondering, why is there a camera on the inside? It's one of those devices someone decides to put on the inside of the home, right? Kind of like a security device, But some people go, why would you have that in your home? I go, yeah, why not? You know, maybe you're monitoring like the cat or the dog. You know what I mean? Or maybe you want to let the kids know, hey, if you ever need to get a hold of me, just push a button. Sometimes people use it for that. I know. And yeah, we used to. Anyway, so Carolyn Sasaki was walking in her living room in Honolulu on Sunday night when the massive boulder came crashing into her home. It traveled from a nearby hillside. It traveled. Hey, I'm visiting. Plowed through a cinder block wall outside the house. Oh, cinder block. That's whoa. Scraping the family's car. Yikes. Hope they have insurance. Crashing through the living room and into the bedroom. Okay, so I went into the bedroom. Oh, man. Sasaki was more than lucky. The boulder missed her barely as she walked toward the couch to watch TV. Oh, man. She's wanting to watch TV, and it's like, I don't think so, man. I'm here to visit. So there you go. She said to the outlet that the family had just moved into the home. Oh, man. They just moved in. Jess, seriously, like that's no fun.
Right? It's like the boulder came in there and just slept like a rock on that bed. I know. Oh my god, my cheesy jokes. But yeah, she's lucky she's alive. I can't even
Yeah,
fathom.
yeah. She turned just at the right time. She didn't go forward. She turned at the. You know, I say if she had an angel, that angel was watching out for her. He's like, oh my god, somebody's coming. Go back. So there you go. Anyway, that's the scene. There it is. All right. So yeah, she said that. She said that in the news report. She said I'm in shock. I refuse to look at the video, so I'm not sure how close, but everybody's telling me I'm lucky. She hasn't even looked at the buttons. She added, God is with me. Yes, yes, thank God. Seriously, no, seriously, thank you. All right, Jess, what's going on in the world?
There's a lot going on in this place, but I do have some interesting news. So you know, in emergencies, how we need blood donations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, do you know the types of people that are not allowed to donate blood? I was not aware of this.
Somewhat.
Yes, apparently I was not aware that gay and bisexual men are not allowed to donate blood.
Well, okay, so, all right, the information I have is that they have to screen it. And if you have a history of like transmitted disease, yeah, you're not allowed. So they have to screen it. So you have to be like, you know, if you are, then good. If you're not, in other words, you don't want blood that has a virus in it. Like if someone has HIV, you don't want that. But what's the case here? What's going on?
No, no, no. Like a lot of places, like if you mark down that you're gay or bisexual, boom, they won't even test it or whatever like that. So regardless, I mean, like you should test the blood regardless of whether they're gay or straight. But apparently, there's supposed to be easing restrictions on blood donations from gay and bisexual men, which is, you
Okay.
know, what? If we're in a, in a shortage and you need blood, gotta
Well,
take what.
and it goes back to what you're saying. Look, when AIDS happened, right? There were a lot of movies on the subject. Tom Hanks was in a bunch of them, right? And they're like, okay, you guys are kind of, and in a way, I get that. So I just hope they screen 100% because even somebody who is 100%, what do they call that? It's they call it heterosexual, right? Or even woman with guy or guy with woman, right? You could still have the same virus. So in a way, it's like, do they test at all? Because they should, right? And I say this. I talked to a biologist. He was very smart. He said, look, there are so many viruses that aren't even accounted for that end up a virus eventually. He says, so technically, yeah. So that's just so interesting. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad they're taking care of it. When does this happen, Jess?
They're supposed to be doing laws and stuff within the following weeks. So you know what? But yeah, no, I remember I had a friend who, no, one of my mom's friends. She had to have a blood transfusion, and she ended up getting, what was it, hep C?
Hepatitis?
Yeah, one of those letters. I can't remember what, but you know what? This one I think was in the 80s that happened, which you said during the whole AIDS epidemic.
Yeah, your
But
partner can give it to you if he slept with another person. I don't want to say who it is, but they go, can you believe I have hepatitis? I go, all right. So in my head, when I hear hepatitis, I think a needle, right? Because you could get it through a needle, right? You don't even have to be with someone. That's why they say don't use a used needle, right? If somebody's like in drugs or they like shoot up, so to speak, or they put something in their veins and they share that needle, which a lot of drug addicts do to save money. If that person's infected, you can automatically get what they have. And all right, so hepatitis can be that way, right? Drug, like if you've had drugs and you've used a needle, you can get it that way. Okay, it's more common than people think. All right, so that's number one. That's why I say again, you want to get tested, right? You want to, like, if you're going to donate anything, you want to make sure you get tested. But okay, so back to, all right. So let's talk about that really quick. Oh, but the person that got it was like, there's only one person that could have given it to me. It's my ex. Their ex-husband gave it to him, and they're a cop. So, but that guy cheated on her a lot, and she finally left him, went with another guy, but now she knows she gave it to that guy, which she's married to, happily. So yeah, it's one of those things where you go, what? So just, she's like, I wonder if I should call him. I said, I think you should, because he's giving it to others. You know what I mean? And hepatitis is one of those you do not want. You do not want it. It creates a problem. And if you have that's how she figured it out. She had and when she had it created a problem for and then they tested her. They're like, oh, well, no wonder you have hepatitis. You have this, that, and the other. And she's like, oh God, you get it. So people, when you leave a marriage because they were unfaithful, you probably should get tested as soon as you know they were unfaithful. Does that make sense? Just in case.
Well, yeah, common sense. Oh my God, I think I read a story about that where she ended up with STD. She was like, how is this possible? And ended up finding out that her husband was cheating on her with several women.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fun for a little, but not fun for, you know what I mean? So if anything, get tested, make sure you're good to go. And you know what? A lot of people test before they get in a relationship. And then, and that's if they're honest. I saw an episode. It was Designated Survivor. And the guys, they hook up in that one. And the one, they're like, okay. And then the other one's like, oh, I have AIDS, by the way. He's like, why would you not tell me this before? And so it was like all thing. It was really good. Keep it slowly. Go check it out. Very interesting. Anyway, Jess, okay, go ahead. What's the rest?
That's pretty much it. They're trying to relax the restrictions on it so that we have more people that are eligible for blood transfusions and plasma.
Yeah.
So, I mean, first off, they should be checking these things regardless of they're straight or gay or whatever that.
Well, they should be screened all the time. Like I said, back to the biologist. And what you're saying is true because people use it, I have, I'll give you an example. It came up with my sister to get a blood transfusion, okay? There are certain things that people believe, and there are certain things that people just maybe they're not aware of. There's always an alternative, okay? Sometimes there's not. I'll give you that. But the science for years, ever since AIDS and before, has really tried to get down to can you do bloodless, even surgery? Can you do bloodless something? Is there a way to be all right? Because it used to be, and this happened to my sister, they were like, okay, she needs blood transfusion right now. And I'm like, okay, that's not, it's not going to happen, but is there another way? And there is another way. And then we found out it was called end plates. And it helped her blood rebound, but the platelets were depleting. So they were like, she's going to bleed out. She's going to need blood, right? Now, if she got blood that was, had something in it, she would get that along with other things, okay? Sometimes if you're not the right, they go, what's your blood type? That's why it's good to know your blood type, by the way. Because if you get the wrong blood, then you have a problem, right? That's what some are like, oh, I'm a universal, and that's true. But again, certain things in the blood can create problems, honestly, sometimes months and years later when you get somebody else's blood. So sometimes, if you ever hear of, people that have a transplant, sometimes they don't survive all the way because that transplant, the body rejects it. But technically it rejects the body because now it's foreign to the body because it's not the body, if that makes any sense. So there's a lot of things that they, they're supposed to screen for, and I wonder, during and during all these things, are they kind of, you know what I mean? So anyway, my point is some people choose not to have a blood transfusion, and others do, but I say weigh the cost more than not because it's not a quick fix. So some doctors specialize in that. It's called bloodless surgery. But some do not. So that's what I'm going to say. All right, Jess, I know we're got a break coming up, so let's go ahead and go to the break. We'll be right back with more right after this. Stay tuned.
New teen driver in the family? Just bought your first home? Have a new bundle of joy? Every life change matters, and by reviewing your insurance policy with Little & Sons Insurance Services, you could be benefiting with big savings. Little & Sons Insurance Services, a family-owned insurance agency who values the old-fashioned way of doing business. They work for you, not an insurance company, meaning your best interests are at heart. They can custom tailor your policy based on specific needs at a price you can afford. Home, auto, or business, you're covered. Call 1-844-9-LITTLE. That's 1-844-9-LITTLE, or go online to little, the letter N, sons.com. That's littlensons.com.
Hi, everyone. This is Bernadette, the host of One Life Radio, your number one source for alternative and holistic health since 2011. One Life Radio is designed to educate and inspire. Visit us at oneliferadio.com because you get one body, you get one mind, and you get one life. Get out there today and make the most of it. Tune in weekdays at 1 p.m. on 1490 KMET Smart Talk, ABC News Radio.
Standard time is here. That means shorter days and cooler nights that make you want to stay inside. Don't get caught in the cold. Franklin Mechanical Systems can do a preventative maintenance check on your heating unit to get it working right. For cleaning, repair, or a new installation, call them for a free estimate. Franklin Mechanical Systems, for all your residential and commercial heating and air conditioning needs. Call their Beaumont office at 951-845-1000. That's 951-845-1000, and stay warm today.
When you want the best performance for your vehicle, think only of Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont, right off the I-10 and 60 freeways. Check out Scott's complete list of performance products on their website at hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers can recommend ways for your car or truck to get better gas mileage and cut down on emissions. Need your car or truck to pass smog only? Go to Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont. Find out all of your questions on vehicle performance by logging on to hdrinfo.com. Scott's Headers and Mufflers in Beaumont. hdrinfo.com.
Tried shipping a package lately? It's amazing how difficult and time-consuming it can be. Packing, envelopes, boxes, second-day ground, next-day air, it's all enough to give you a headache. Next time, do yourself a favor, go with the pros at the UPS store in Beaumont. They'll pack it right and let you know all your shipping options. You can also take care of everyday tasks like copies, faxing, notary services, and live scan fingerprinting. And while you're there, pay your Edison, gas company, and Verizon bills. Open extended hours Monday through Saturday. The UPS store in Beaumont, located in the Oak Valley Plaza at 1440 Beaumont Avenue. Call 951-769-5956. That's 951-769-5956. Online at the upsstorelocal.com/5027 or Google 5027.
That's right. It's the morning show here on ABC News Radio, KMET 1490 AM. There's a story. I'm going to read it real quick because I'm like, what? Who? What? She's young, by the way. This happened, and the headline reads, Annie Wershing. If you don't know that name, and you look at I'm not going to lie. I kind of don't. But I saw this, and I said, wow, she's so young. There she is, evidently at, maybe a screening of something. She's known for her work on 24. She's also the voice of Tess in The Last of Us. And she died at the age of 45, Jess. What are you thinking there, Jess?
Wait. Who died?
Okay. So let me read it, and then we'll get onto it. Okay. It says a actor known for her work on television shows like 24 and Marvel's Runaways, as well as for her voice and motion capture in the video game The Last of Us, has died. Her publicist confirmed a deadline this Sunday. She was 45. Now, she can't. Let me put it this way: she had she knew it was coming. All right, but man, she's so young. Like I look at her and I go, what? Like, how, what, where, when, why, right? She was diagnosed in 2020 with cancer, Jess. And they had set up a GoFundMe account. And the page reads, she's a private person by nature, and the diagnosis made her even more so. That was created by fellow Runaways actor Ever Carradine. Ever Carradine, Runaways. I kind of see that, by the way. That's one of those shows I'm like, yeah, so. You know, Jess, it's like, what's going on, man? And I don't know if you guys saw this. I was like, no, come on, not another one. From Laverne and Shirley. Cindy died. Yeah, what's going on, man? I'm like, everyone's dying, Jess.
I have. Oh my god. Oh my god, she was the board queen too. Oh my god, I'm sad.
Wait, what?
I know my mom's gonna get mad about the Laverne and Shirley thing. No, Annie Weish. What was her name? Weisher. Wershing. No, I'm looking at her, her filmography, and she's done a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Oh man, she was born at the same time I was, Jess. I can go at any time, Jess. Jess, she was born in 19. It was a great year. 19. I'm not even going to say. Forget it. What? Who did I have a conversation with? I'm like, you know what? Oh, I remember. I saw him this weekend. The guy's like 80, but he looks like young, right? I would say not a day over like 60, right? He just looks young. He talks all the time. He's a good guy. But I was like, dude, what's the secret there, right? He's like, do you know how old I am? I'm like, so I just said like, young age. Anyway, but yeah, what's up with that, Jess?
Yeah, cancer. I hate
well,
cancer.
She went all the way back to Star Trek Enterprise back in 2002, years after graduating with a degree in musical theater. Oh, she had a little guest spot. Oh, that's cool. She followed up with several more stuff like Charmed, okay, Supernatural, okay, General Hospital, never watched it. Then she moved on to larger parts. In 2009, she went on to play FBI agent Renee Walker on 24. I love that show. Great show, by the way. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And then completed 2 seasons with that. Years after that, about 2, she had her final appearance on 24. It was announced that she would serve as the voice and motion capture actor of Tess Servopoulos in The Last of Us. That's the one that I get confused with the one that's out now. Jess, what's that one called?
The Last of Us. It's based on this game.
But she was in the game, right?
She was in the game, yeah.
But she wasn't on the show, was she?
No, she's not in the show.
Yeah, she's the voice and motion capture actor of Tess.
In the game. Yeah.
Okay, all right. The old smuggling partner of playable protagonist Joel Miller. Got it. Okay. What's that other show? I can't remember. It's with the blonde and all that. All right. Neil Druckmann, the creative director of The Last of Us, tweeted, "We just lost a beautiful artist and human being. My heart is shattered." Yeah. Her final role brought her career full circle last year when she started. Oh! Jess, this is the girl?
Yes, I told you she's the board queen.
Yeah, I got that. I was thinking that, but I'm like, that can't be her because that's the other girl. She has okay, I'm not going to lie. My mom saw this, okay? She was like, you know what I mean? Like the whole time. If you haven't seen Picard, it's on Paramount. Get it. All right? That girl, that woman, Jess. I was a fan from the start. I'm like, oh my God, she's so that woman. But I thought she was the woman because she plays the woman from that other, what's the board queen on,
You talk about the Star Trek movie?
Yeah, the movie. I thought it was her the whole time. And then I was like, oh no, that's her. And then like a day or two later, I'm like, that's not her, that's another woman. I was like, wow, she really, she knows how to be her 100%. So she's that girl. Ugh. That's sad, because she was so she was so you're like, okay, you're not, there's something wrong with you. But I can't believe she died, Jess. I can't believe she did it while having cancer. She survived by her young sons, Freddie, Ozzy, and Archie. That's sad, Jazz. That's sad. Okay, you know what? She was a good actor. I hate that she went that soon. Not gonna lie, I totally thought it was the other woman that was in that movie, but she plays that woman, but she does it really well. So yeah, and the effects on that, awesome. If you could get you got to get past the first couple of episodes on Picard, the first season. She comes in the second season. Okay, I think there's a third season coming, right? And they bring like some really good people back. I love it. They bring Data back. They bring all of them back. So if you were a fan of Generation, right? Star Trek Next Generation. Oh, 7 of 9 comes back. Ryan's in. Oh, that's gonna be a sad. Yeah, she was so good, and the special effects are so like you really got to see that. If you haven't seen Picard, I hate to say this, but well, I was saying I think I said this anyway. Anyway, so that Jess, she's so young. Come on, what's going on with people right now? We need to get ahead of it, Jess. This is sad. Because, I mean, you look at her, you're like, no, she's not that woman. She's so beautiful. No, she's that woman. She's the Borg Queen. So, there you go. Anyway, Jess, we got to take a break. There's the story. Also, from Laverne and Shirley. But the Borg Queen she doesn't look like a Borg Queen, Jess.
I know. It sucks. It really does when you enjoy someone's performance and then you find out that they're sick, kind of like when Chadwick Boseman passed away.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna take a break. We'll be back right after this. Stay tuned.
KMET 1490 AM with you everywhere you go by downloading our free smartphone apps found on the KMET website, KMET1490am.com. You can also go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store on your phone to download the free app. Now you can listen live or play any of your favorite programmers' podcasts using your smartphone. Go to KMET1490am.com and download your free phone app today.
Your Pharmacy and Mobility Solutions is now Beaumont Pharmacy with a new location at the Sundance Corporate Center. That's at the corner of Highland Springs and 8th in Suite 110. Of course, they still have Pack Your Meds. No more counting out the pills, dropping them on the floor. Oh, what a mess. And they have a full selection of pharmaceutical CBD. Wheelchairs, over-the-counter meds, you name it, they've got it. So if you're looking for the best and you want the best pharmacy, you go to Beaumont Pharmacy at their new location, 835 North Highland Springs, Beaumont Avenue in Beaumont, California, Suite 110. Give them a call, 951-845-8252.
Join Yvette Walker every Tuesday at 4 o'clock p.m. on KMET ABC News Radio, 1490 AM, FM 98.1, and Internet KMET TV for the Southern California Business Report. The show is dedicated to highlighting successful businesses and the individuals behind them. Yvette interviews the incredible people managing these enterprises that range from awe-inspiring sole proprietors to world-renowned organizations. The Southern California Business Report, Tuesdays at 4 o'clock p.m.
Mattress Brothers Overstock Mattress Sale. Just $3.99 for a foam encased queen pillow top set. $3.99. Check out Mattress Brothers $3.99 Overstock Sale. Mattress Brothers at 120 West Redlands Boulevard in Redlands. The $3.99 Overstock Sale is on now. $3.99 for a foam encased queen pillow top set. Mattress Brothers also has locations in Hemet, Riverside, and Palm Desert. The $3.99 queen pillow top sale on now.
Don't let insurance companies make decisions for you. Go to Pass Auto Center in Banning, your one-stop repair facility with full collision repair, auto maintenance, service, and an authorized smog center. You'll also find a full-service used car lot to fit every budget with the right vehicle for you. Trade-ins are accepted and they pay cash for your car. Pass Auto Center at 2609 West Ramsey in Banning, just off the I-10 freeway between Sunset and 22nd. Call 951-849-7878.
Hello, listeners. This is Christopher from The Christopher Show. Hey, if you missed one of our shows here at KMET, don't worry about it. You can go to our webpage, and that's KMET1490am.com. Go to the homepage, click on the SoundCloud tab, and hear any show anytime you want.
That's right, it's the morning show. A big shout out to Jess and his fam over there. Lucy tuning in says, morning everyone. Good morning, Luce. All right, Jess, you said it. and I think she was listening. Yeah, someone she knows and or does. Not just, I think she would say, I don't even know who she is, Jess. Cindy Williams. If you don't know her, like Happy Days, dun 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 dun, dun, right? Laverne and Shirley, right? 75, Jess. 75. She's so young, Jess. She died.
That's true. I think we're all expecting people to head out like Betty White, 99, right?
No, we should not
Almost
expect
100.
anyone to head out, Jess. What do you mean expect? You expect your mom to expect? No, don't expect anything.
We're all born to die. That's how life goes, my friend. Don't be.
Jess, you are a miserable person right now. I think the Borg Queen dying just kind of totally. You're like, look, we're gonna die. I'm dying probably tomorrow. Are you gonna be dead tomorrow, Jess? Are you not gonna get married?
I hope I don't die, but you never know. I can get hit by stray.
Imagine your mother saying, "Oh yeah, he's gonna die soon."
Yeah, no, space trash.
She's tuning in. Don't say that when your mom's tuning in. She's gonna be like, "I'm gonna hurt you right now." Okay, so there you go. It's like, no, I'm expecting to see you no longer. Okay, Stephanie Reed says, "Hello, happy editing this glorious, gloomy, cold, busy, awesome day ahead for today. Awesome." Patricia Sommer says, about that information about the blood. Back to what Jess was saying. I evidently changed the law on it, but she did say it. She said, "Yeah, that kind of comes from the days of AIDS." It's yeah. Stephanie says, she's seen that the Jonas Brothers got their stars on the Walk of Fame yesterday, and they're going to release a new album May 5th. She's a huge fan. So big shout out to Steph, who's tuning in from Ohio. All right, and Patricia Sommer says, let's see, blood supply on an honor system? I don't think so, huh? No way, Jose. Plus, people don't even know what they got, right? People are getting all kinds of disease left, right, and center. So there you go. Back to Cindy Williams. Okay, so Cindy, according to a statement, let's see, passed away peacefully after a short illness. What was the illness? Seriously, I want to know, because she was vibrant, man. That woman had life. She's the brunette, by the way, for those that are like, which one is Laverne? Because people don't even pay attention to that anymore. I'm like, dude, seriously, they were the duo. They were the couple that were awesome. They were the roommates that spun off from the series of Happy Days. But yeah, there you go. So yeah. They said a lot of comments. She was born here in Van Nuys, Jess. She's a local.
I was not aware of that, but that's actually really cool.
Yeah. Let's see. She graduated from LA City College with a arts degree in theater. She started out in roles with Room 222, Nanny and the Professor, and Love, American Style. Early in that career of hers, she landed an array of roles other than Laverne and Shirley, which I think she wants to be known for, not just Laverne and Shirley, although they were funny, man. Yeah, let's see. That was with Penny Marshall, of course, who played Laverne DeFazio. Fun girl, man. Fun. And then turned director. Really, yeah. The appearance of the actresses on the show was so popular that Gary Marshall, who's the brother of Penny Marshall, he was the producer of Happy Days, created the spin-off he created for his sister. Oh, that's cool. That's a cool story. That's what fam helped fam, right? Gary Marshall, great guy, by the way. Yeah, so, all right. I know people that know him. I have a friend who actually is like, we got to go meet him because we have a film to talk about. And that was after a show that we had when I was doing Live with Aaron and Kelly. And, it was, I was like, wow, wouldn't that be cool? And then, a month or two later, he died. And I was like, what happened? He goes, well, what else are we going to do? So it's like, oh, man. Yeah. But Laverne and Shirley ran from 76 to 82. They had reruns all the way through. I remember growing up and thinking, I don't get these two. I don't. Because I was a kid and I was a boy, so you don't get it when you know what I mean? And then later, I think I saw parts of it, and I'm like, okay, the Fonz made an appearance. So they had this back and forth thing. It was a good spin-off show, which, honestly, when you think about spin-off shows, they don't work. A lot of spin-off shows don't work. If you remember when Friends kind of ended, Joey had his own series. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. It did not last long.
Yeah, Three's Company, when it ended, they had a spin-off of, I think it was Tripper, but it didn't work anymore. Jack Tripper, right? The character, right? It didn't, they don't go on all the way because it didn't have the rest, right? So it was on him only because they're like, oh, you're the star, but it doesn't work sometimes. If you have little anyway, this one worked because it told of them, but at the time when it came out, it was good because there were a lot of shows, but they wanted a show about just two. Some compared them kind of to the Lucy days, to be honest. But I'll give you an example. Even Lucy, when she went on her own, she did it for a couple seasons, but it didn't work when she was with Ricky Ricardo. But she's like, well, of course it's not going to work because we're divorced. People didn't know that because they're like, no, we love you too. There were so many things, including series that hit the anyway. So yeah, but sad. What did she die from, Jess?
You know what? I'm afraid to ask, and I'm afraid to look it up because if it says cancer again, I'm gonna get angry.
Yeah, seriously. She did a lot of performances on stage too, including Grease, Death Trap, Moon Over Buffalo. She made her Broadway debut way back in 2007, which wasn't that long ago, in The Drowsy Chaperone. So she did a lot of stuff even during. People remember her role, of course, as Laverne and Shirley, but she did so much since. She's, let's see, been in several TV series, including Normal Life, Getting By, and 8 Simple Rules. Okay. And in 2004, speaking of, the Hollywood Walk of Fame getting the star, she was honored with her own star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame back in 2004. So, yeah, I don't know what she died, but, she's got a lot. You're going to hear a lot about her because she was that woman that people, love to be around. Does that make sense? She was the joy of, even with the two of them, there's a lot of this, that, and the other. Because it was really, now that I think about it, it was she was, how do I explain it? When a family member creates a show, it's that person's show, not your show. You know what I mean? But she really brought it together. So I think it was a duo that needed to happen. And I think if anything, Penny would have been you know what? It's a sad day in Hollywood. No matter what, because she was that woman who always brightened your day no matter what, right? So, yeah, so there you go. So those are a couple passes. I hate talking about passing. I like to talk about people living and surviving and then, But at this day and age, man, Jess, I don't know who's going to die next. Jess?
I don't want to say it, but yeah, it does feel like sometimes they're just falling like flies, right?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I get it. It's death every day. I get that. I'm just saying, there's some cool, back to some diseases right now. There's some cool new stuff coming. All right. And I say this, if I had a friend who died of cancer, right? She was a mother. And she's young. She's young. And she's been in Happy Feet and a bunch of stuff. We had her on the show in 2020. And she later was found out to have cancer, but she got married, she was happy, and then it just real quick, right? But there's certain things that are out there now that if you kind of are aware of it, there's new, even HIV, there's new treatment for these things, so they're not necessarily a death blow. That's kind of what you need to know. So, because a lot of people are getting all kinds of things, and you're like, well, that was around. And like I say, it's not just coronavirus that kills, there's other diseases that kill. But coronavirus is kind of one of those you don't have to get. And it's one of those where it's so all over the place, it can affect your body from the inside out, unlike other things, right? And you can avoid it, so you don't have to get it. You know what I mean? So, and people forget that about coronavirus. Now, some of these other things you can also avoid, like STDs, right? STDs, but you just got to be, so if you're not safe with that, then, you might get somebody else a STD, which is life-threatening, possibly, These viruses are still there. So get tested, get treated, and there are some treatments that are giving people hope now, including cancer. There's one with the tumor. I still have yet to find that information. But, find out about it and say, is it treatable? Some of the doctors don't know the new treatment, but if you Google it or YouTube it, be like, what's the latest thing on that? There's a lot of, trials on this, and you might be a trial person on some of these things. I'm just saying, weigh the odds. So there you go. All right, Jess, let's see. I know you got a story over there. What's going on?
Okay. I actually heard about this earlier today, kind of a rumor. Do you remember there's a convention, E3. Do you remember that?
Love E3. I used to go well, no, I didn't go every year. I went a couple years in a row. It happens here wait, what happened, Jess?
Oh, I like to see the enthusiasm in your voice. Now I'm getting to the sad part. Okay, so what are the main reasons you go to E3?
Oh, okay. Can I just say this? It is, Jess, are you getting my host something you're going to crush them?
Maybe. I don't know. It depends on what you go to E3 for.
You go for fun, man. Okay, it's the best thing. Okay, I'm not going to lie. Okay, let me put it this way. Before I got in a relationship, okay, in 2018, I went a couple of times, all right? And the one time that I went by myself, I think, who did I go with? Or maybe I got a pass for somebody else. Oh, that's right. I got a pass for somebody else. And then we saw what's his name? Whitwer? And then Spartacus guy and a couple other actors. I was like, it was awesome. Okay. And then Kelly that's right. We did Under Live with Aaron Kelly. I remember that. And so we went and we covered it and we did it live there. It was spotty because it's at the convention center in LA. And it was just like, it's hard to explain how cool it is to go. Jess, I'm going to say this, like, and I think I invited you once. I said, dude, do you want to go? And then I got busy with something. I don't know what happened. In 2020, they canceled it. They didn't have it anymore because of coronavirus. Okay. Now, in a way, it was kind of going a little way, because like big ones like, and some don't want to say it, but there were certain big, like Microsoft. Microsoft was really big. But it's the Comic-Con but you got to be an industry person to get in, meaning you got to be from the community of like video game. But there were some people that were there that we met that like create a board game. Jess, what's going on? Let me just cut it through. Man. What happened to E3?
Okay, so the reports that the big three will not be showing up at E3, which
is... Oh, good. It doesn't matter. Awesome. So they're going to have E3 this year, Jess?
Supposedly, it's supposed to take place Tuesday, June 13th through Friday, June 16th.
Do you want to go? I'll get you passes.
Yeah, let's go. I mean...
Okay, but it's got to be you and... It can only be industry people because they check. So it's you, me. You can't take family members, okay? You can't. It's got to be you... Me and let's see, we got to have a camera person with us. We cover, Jess, you will be on cloud 9, but it can only be you and me because it's industry. If I bring in like a family member, it doesn't work, okay? I've had people try that before, but we got to bring a camera person and they got to be ready to go because you got to be on your feet all day long, okay? And you got to, because you get all the stuff like as it comes out. Like when VR came out with Batman Arkham, they had... You test that, okay? But you had to sign up for it, right? We had like I remember with Kelly, she was so fun, man. Kelly, if she were in town, I'd be like, Kelly, let's go. But you got to go with someone fun that understands game, right? And then you just because they have all the first look there, because that's where press go. Kind of like the auto show that I've been at. It's not as fun. I mean the auto show's fun-ish, but it's not as fun as E3 because E3 is where all the video games that are going to come out. So VR will be big there. Oh, who's not showing up, by the way, Jess?
So, yeah, Nintendo, Xbox, and so pretty much Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo will not be showing up. Those are the reports, right?
Microsoft. Oh, those are the big three. Yeah, those are big. Those are big. Oh, it might not be as good then. Well, if Nintendo's bowing out, that's not good then. E3 kind of lost. You know what? They need to bring it back because I think in a way, kind of like the auto show. The auto show wasn't as big as it was in past years, but it was still kind of all right. They were late putting everything up. But I'll say this. Look, coronavirus did a lot of things in, and it wasn't E3's fault that it was done in that way, if that makes sense. I don't know what happened in the years, like I said. When I was in a relationship in 2018, I put my all in a relationship, right? So I went like, people were like, what happened to you? I go, I had a relationship. There was a family. I put my all into that. So that was like, so I did my all in that, right? No longer in the relationship, obviously. But the point is this. I have time now. So if you want to go, Jess, I know you will be like, but you got to, it can't be you and a bunch of people because all your friends, if they hear that you go to E3, they're going to be like, dude, sign me up. But it can't happen, all right, Jess? You got to know that. Wait, is it on a work day?
I go solo. Let's see, June 13th. I'm assuming. Oh, is it a work day? Let's see. What's in June? Oh, it's the middle of the week. I can't go. Dang it.
But is it all week?
It's Tuesday to Friday. Tuesday to Friday.
Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Well, just it was fun, but you know what? I'll be like, from E3. Yeah, I gotta figure out who's gonna go, but yeah, I can't take you, man. You gotta work. All right, so anyway, there it is. Well, look, you could. They have a lot of live streaming things from there. It's fun. It's at the LA Convention Center, so June. Yeah, I promised that I was gonna go and I was gonna take someone. But I don't think I could take them anywhere. Yeah, not going to happen. All right, well, anyway, so E3, look out for it. Just because the big three aren't going to be there doesn't mean not everyone else is. Because there's a lot of... Oh, Jess, remember when I say, dude, you should take off one day and tell, like, Sean or someone else, can you cover for me? Because that's where things are made. Let me give you an example, Jess. You know how I've been saying I've been working on, like, script and other stuff? Oh, I got to go. It's 100% a thing. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So, you know how I say I work on script and I work on like story and I work like on an animated thing? This is where you get it made into a game, right? Or you talk to someone and if you have like the person who does, but see, they do graphics, they do art, they do everything there. You could launch your own game with some of these programs. Now, some of them are kind of like, man, whatever. But I remember when mobile gaming, they said, look, mobile gaming is going to be such a thing. Like, and I said, okay, that's called micropayments. They go, yes. I say, okay, that's awesome. So there's a lot of games that come and go, but they have developers there that talk to other people. And if you're there, Jess, and you have an idea, you can get their information, and then you could do your, eventually, and then get that made. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, it does. I might be able to go on Tuesday. I can always find someone to take my shift. There's one other person available.
I would say yes. I would say yes, because E3... for the last couple of years has been canceled due to coronavirus. So if we do it safely and you wear a mask, okay, I know they have like the screening thing. So you just say, okay, this, that, the other, blah, blah, blah. I wonder if they're going to have one of those prerequisites again because, it's around that time. I know people are going to say, no, it's not. But there's, by the way, coronavirus, right? Let's talk about it. Some people are they're like, okay, I'm done with like another shot. But I say, be careful of the next few. Here's why. If you're at risk, like my mom's at risk, okay? I cannot have her go to E3 or anything like this. They have a lot of people all at one place because you have international travelers, you have all kinds of people all in one place. This is a world event that happens in LA, okay? E3 is huge. It doesn't sound like much, but when you know it, you see all those articles. But CES wasn't that big either. We didn't hear much about CES. They're all kind of like, they're trying to scale up because they scaled down so much. So people are like, huh? But this is the gaming community all in one place. I remember hearing of this when I was a kid. But if you had a connection, you could get in, kind of like us. That's why I say everybody's going to want to be your friend if they find out you're going to E3 when they find out what E3 is, Jess.
When I worked at a video store in back in the days, I had a video game shop attached to the video store. Okay. Yeah. They would get to go to E3.
Yeah.
And I would hate them for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they always brought back these super cool things, and I'm just like, I hate you.
Merchandise. They have promos, man. And you get everything before everyone else. So when it comes out, you're like, yeah, already tried it. Yep, already tried it. Yep, already tried it. So it's fun. It's really fun. But anyway, going. So going. Not sure if we're going to go all days. But that's where you meet people and you make things happen if you have a story. So get a story done, Jess. And then if you get a story done, you get something and you go, okay, I have a story because they're looking for property that can be made. I have a couple properties that can be made into a game, but I got to find the right people that would do it. But I have properties that can be made because they're always looking for a story. And if you are the story person, you say, look, here's a story. They go, okay, it's not what we want it to be. You go, no, let me fix it up. You fix it up, right? You don't worry about it being perfect yet. You just get a story, and then when they ask you what the story is, don't have it in your head. Have it done. That way when they go, okay, well, let's see the script, you have it ready to go. But I say this, register it with the Writers Guild of America for $20. That's all you do. It's like you put in your name, put in your info, boom, you register at $20, you're good to go, okay? So, I got to say this, by the way. Big shout out to Webtoon. Webtoon is not what it sounds like, all right? It sounds like a bunch of, like, tunes that are on the web, right? On the internet. But Webtoon is a thing for creators, okay? I'm going to say this to Steph. I know Steph has ideas on this. And if you like manga, it's for, and I need to say this first. Okay, Jess, what is it? Okay, remember YouTube?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I know YouTube.
Okay, when YouTube came out, there were people that knew about it, and then there were people that didn't know about it. And they didn't know how big it was going to be eventually. This is that, but it's called Webtoon, okay? Now, if you're a creator of script, you can put your creation, like a comic or like a script or okay, remember Garfield back in the day, or like comic strip? You could do that and people actually watch it, meaning they scroll through it, kind of like Instagram, okay? But you get credit for it. So you are able to monetize your creation. So if you draw or you do anime or you do, like, if you are a artist, and you have like a little bit of words on there, they have like a weekly series of stuff. You upload it just like you would to YouTube, like a video, but you are able to make money on it based on how many people watch. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be a millionaire overnight, all right? But I will say this. They have a community of people that like this type of thing, okay? And we kind of discovered them at the last Comic-Con. And I'm like, there's something about that. I don't know what it is. But you got to protect your property. This is why I say you got to register it with Writers Guild of America or something. You got to register it so that people know if it gets taken, because it's a good idea. And trust me, Hollywood's always looking for good ideas. But if it gets taken, because they took some ideas, like officially, some did it from like Twitter people. Right? Some people, I remember one person, we were at the Produce By conference. He goes, yeah, we approached a person because he had a Twitter account. He would always say funny stuff about his father. So we approached him and we got his permission, meaning they were able to license it and pay him a certain amount. And then they made a script out of it, right? I don't know if it ever got made, but it was a good idea for, like, you know, a show. So people are scouring new things. My point is they're going to scour this. It's just going to be a thing. Webtoon, though, is a great place for people, but you got to protect your property. So you got to get a way to say, this is my script. So before you put it up, my recommendation, always get the script, get it very, like, just ready to go. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, like, you know, final draft. Get it registered. Writers Guild of America, great way to do it. They do shorts, they do synopsis, they do all kinds of things. But you need it, like, in a way at a certain date, so if somebody else takes the characters or they tell the story the same way, and there's a lot of stories, you know, like when you think about just like stories, you think, okay, moon, space, you know, how many stories are that, right? But if you have certain things that are very similar, and there will be, you got to protect it. So protect it through the Writers Guild of America. That's all I got to say. It's $20. But Webtoon, check it out. It's great for creators, it's great for artists, and it's great for people who love manga. Okay? It's a great place. Go check it out. And oddly enough, people read this. So I'm like, readers are still there. But they watch it like through pictures. So it's really cool. It's a way to get credit for your stuff and then have your thing like, anyway. So there you go. All right, people, we're out of time. Make it a great day. Whatever you do, remember, life is worth living. Live it well. All right, real quick, for those tuning in, I hope you're listening, Steph. Again, this would be really good for you. I think you got some great ideas there. But if you have a story, protect it. That's number one. I'm gonna say this, and hopefully, you know, if you're a creative, you're a person who likes to like do something. Even if you're somebody, I'll give you an example. My mom, she has a script. And I know she does, but she's always like, I'm busy. I'm like, what are you busy with? You don't do anything. She's like, no, I do. And I'm like, yeah, but, you know, so anyway, you got to get something done. And there's so many ways of look, there's ways of publishing. There's ways of getting it out there. There's ways, right? But you can get paid for, is my point, without going with the publisher. I'm not saying you're going to make a lot of money. But if you had an idea for like a little story, okay, like a little script or a little like, I don't know. Like I have it's called, you know, well, it doesn't matter what it's called because you guys will steal it. But that's my point. If you have it like out there and it's proven that it's out there already and you have that, if you had a similar story, almost the same, you go, wait a minute, where'd you get it from? Because some people will steal an idea, but you go, but an idea can be stolen anyway. You could talk it and then someone could steal it. Yeah, that's my point. So there are things that you could get paid on, like Webtoon, all right, which is like YouTube, but it's for people who love manga. Okay, and manga is an anime type style. It's like a comic, but it's on your phone. Okay, so they put in ads, but as the person who created that, you could be anyone. You could be like a kid who's like 8, and you love to draw, and you're like, you know what? I want to do a story. You upload it to this site. You create your own account. Webtoon is what it's called. And then you put it up and people read it, okay? Now people like it. They comment on it, all this. Now, I know it works because when I was at the comic convention, I had never seen this. I thought, honestly, when it says Webtoon, I'm like, okay, there are shorts of little anime stuff. I go, okay, that makes sense. Because the fans were meeting people that were like the creators of these stories, but they're actually readable stories. So I'm like, that's not what I thought it was. But I remember the fans were like, dude, I'm such a fan. And so the artists were there with their booth because Webtoon said, look, we have a certain amount of booths that we could give to you, and you, okay? Your shows get watched. You're in the area of where we're at. Back to, if there's a comic convention in your area and you're on Webtoon, you may be invited to participate, right? So you bring your stuff, you bring your art stuff, it's really cool. So if you're like a drawer or you're a person, this is a way of making money on your stuff. Now, here's the thing. There's going to be other people that do this, but I think Webtoon's ahead of it, but I'm sure there's going to be another one that does it, but it's readable format in picture, okay? So it's not like a book. It's not like Audible. It's just more, but here's the thing. When I saw like 5 million views on one story, I was like, what? And they have what they call episodes, right? But it's called like weekly stuff. So what I say is get your script, get at least 3 episodes worth. Get 3 episodes worth. They're short. They don't have to be long. And they just scroll through them. And they show it to someone. And then they're like, boom, there you go. So, and this is what I say to our listener in Ohio. She watches so much and she has so many creative ideas. But this is the way I get monetized. Now, I'm not saying you're going to make thousands of dollars right away. But you'll make something. And then you say to a potential person who wants to do like a script, right? Maybe they will turn into a book or they want to turn into something. Have something printed. Register it. Writers Guild of America. That's where you register it. It's good for 5 years, so you have to re-register it. But you could prove through the number that you already submitted it first, right? And the good thing about that is if somebody stole your idea, because there are going to be like ideas all the way like taken and stolen. I remember talking to a guy. He's like, dude, that was my idea. I'm like, that makes sense. But you got to register it, okay? You got to have a way of proving it. Some people copyright that. Copyright's awesome if you could do it. They take a little while. I don't know why. There's certain things people go, man, it's too much. Like I go, just go Writers Guild of America. Awesome, because you want to be part of Writers Guild of America because you're a writer. All right, so that's the thing. But have proof of it. Okay, so any person who may be on Webtoon or is going to go on Webtoon, be careful of people stealing your ideas. Okay, because people are like, I've seen certain people have the same drawing style, right? People are talking about all kinds of things, but drawing style could be the same with a couple of people. And yeah, so you got to be careful, okay? Be careful of your property. Be ahead of it. Then you'll be all right. But yeah, and then if your thing gets popular, then you could say to a person like, let's say you go to E3, you have a good script or you have a good something, and it's proven, right? Maybe you have a book, it's out. When you meet with someone that can take it next level, you're ready to go. You're like, oh yeah, here it is, But now you're the that person, you're the author, and you want to be an author, especially, I know a lot of people during coronavirus that kind of did other things. I'm not gonna lie, I did. I had a lot of things go like whatever. But my point is this: you gotta make use of what the time is that you have, and then do what you can to because I never thought I was a writer ever. And then I did the children's book, which is about a butterfly. And then I did a biz book, which we had been talking about for a while. And I said, let's just do it. And so we're still, we got a total of 8 to do, but we got the first one out. So yeah. But anyway, that's my point. Okay, so get it out there. And then even if you don't sell like a bunch, who cares? You got it. And then on to the next one. And then when somebody asks you, you go, oh yeah, I have that. And then you keep doing that. So that's my recommendation. If you ever wanted to do a script or you want to do some writing, do it now. If you like drawing, or even if you don't like drawing, get with somebody who likes drawing and be like, hey, I got an idea based on what you're drawing. I could do, this or that, like in written form. It doesn't need to be much actually on this platform. It's really cool, but go check it out. It's cool just to check out anyway and see what they're doing. Webtoon, get in your head. It's free. Okay. You just like YouTube, you get your account, but just like YouTube, you upload your stuff, you upload your picture, but you get credit for it. And then, and then you can be like, yay, this is my story, check it out. And then you don't have to have them pay for it to get it. you just have to have a certain amount of views to get like, kind of like ads like on YouTube. Like we're on Facebook Watch, we're on YouTube. We have ads, but anybody who's on YouTube has ads, right? So there you go. Anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Let's see. Yep, Steph says, definitely going to look at it. Good. Glad to hit home with you, Steph, because I really think, again, Webtoon is what it's called. Check it out. Sign up for a creator one. It's kind of confusing, not going to lie, but you got to, you'll figure it out. And then you sign up for a creator account. You upload your picture, right? Get sure it's done. They have some things that they say, like you can't edit it once it's submitted, I think, because it's like in the queue, or it's kind of like Instagram. You can't pull it down. You can't re-edit it. So make sure it's good. Have 3 episodes ready to go because they do a weekly thing. Then you're not stressed out about the next one if it gets a following, okay? And so if you have an idea, get it done. Get 3 of them ready to go. Don't submit it right away. Get the 3 ready to go. Look at how they're doing it. Then, you figure out the technicality of it. It's a little frustrating. But then you upload it. When you upload it, share it. We'll, message it. And then, you may get 1 or 2 people that actually watch it. Maybe 8, maybe 12, maybe 30, maybe 40, maybe 50. At first, don't get discouraged, right? Because there's a lot of people release all kinds of stuff and get a subscriber base. So you want people to subscribe, right? But get like the people that say, hey, check it out. And then they don't have to pay for it. It's like YouTube, but you get paid eventually. Maybe it's cents on the dollar with your ads. Sign up for the ad program, and then you get little by little money. You never know. $100 here, $100 there. You never know. So I say do that, but protect it. And if you do that first, still get your story out, but get like maybe a episode or 2. Write it down. Get Writers Guild of America. Pay the $20. Submit it. Get used to that. That way you have your property ready to go. And then if something happens, you could technically say, technically that's my property, here's the proof. And then, because you don't want people stealing your stuff, especially if it gets really known. And I say this, and to creators out there, again, when your stuff gets known, sometimes you're like, how did that person do the same thing? Because they took your idea because it was out there. So you gotta, so there you go. Anyway, I have a script out. That's why I'm very careful about that, because depending on who sees it, how sometimes there are movies that come out that are very similar. That's because, and Hollywood knows this, is why if you look at certain headlines, people are getting sued all the time because they're like, no, you guys met with us. And that's why I say those meetings don't work. But they meet with you and they say, yeah, okay, we'll call you. And then they have a script like that 3 years later that comes out with the movie. And you're like, that was the idea that I had. They go, yeah, but, and so that's when certain people, they go out and I say, do it. Because as a writer, you need to get paid. You need to get compensated. So if you could prove that the majority is your idea, because all they do is they go, great idea, but we're not ready. Then behind the scenes, this is known in Hollywood 100%. Behind the scenes, especially if you're in another country, they can take your idea and run with it because they know, you may be in an area in your own area, but you get it. So that's why I say with places like Webtoon, you gotta be smart about your property and prove. Now some would say, but once it's on Webtoon, it's there. I say, yeah, but here's the problem with it. If that video gets flagged or if it gets taken down at any time, just like YouTube, how can you prove that it was there? You really can't. Okay, don't do that thing like people say, oh, I can mail myself an envelope and that'll prove because based on no. That doesn't work anymore. There are certain court cases that have been thrown out based on stuff like that. You have to register it. Writers Guild of America. It's the best thing to do, especially if you're in America. They have other things you could do as well. But all right, so just do that. You'll be good to go. I met a creator. She had a booth there at Comic-Con in LA, and she was a little I'll just say this. She was I wanted her on camera, but she was so shy. She didn't want to be on camera. And I'm like, okay. But she had again, it's not a perfect thing. So she's like, well, they didn't really do the edit that I wanted. I had this and that and the other. Because she probably thought about it. She goes, I want to make it better. And they didn't do it her way. That's why I say be careful. But always read as well who has technically the right to reproduce it or replicate it. Now, if they go next level, and I think they will at some point, maybe not right away, but they may take some of these properties and say, okay, we want to do an animated series. We have people to do that. They may make an offer to certain creators, but those creators have to be ready for it to now be bought and owned. That's why you want to prove, no, I own this, even though your name's on it. You got to have a way to prove it, especially Writers Guild of America. Writers Guild of America is like the Screen Union, okay? Or they say Directors Guild. There's all these guilds that protect the people that do the work, but they get compensated. Does that make sense? Even if you get pennies on the dollar. And that's my thing. Somebody could scour the top ones and say, okay, this makes sense, this makes sense, this makes sense, and be that person to steal it and do it like in another country, like Australia, right? And they do it there. It gets really big there. Years later, you go, how come it looks like mine? It's so weird. And you don't think another thing of it, but then someone says nothing, and you're like, what? And you're like, you know, you got all these great ideas, but they're like, it's weird that, you know. But you could be the opposite. You could be like, you think you have a good idea, but it's already, you know, somebody that you saw, they already did it. So how do you prove it is my point. So just be careful, okay? Like I say, I have a script out there of a couple things. You know, even my mom was like, you need to get that taken care of because if somebody steals, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, true. So I did some research on copyright, did some research on all that. It's good to do copyright, but if they do it in another country, there's no proof that what happens here in America doesn't necessarily happen around the world. So you got to be careful on that. But you got to have a way to say, hey, so you have to do it. And some people go, oh, forget it. It's too. And I say, no, don't forget it. The great thing about story is that it can always be done a different, like, it can always be done, it can always be something, right? You look at, like, certain creations that do big movie, right? But some things don't ever do that. There's a lot of stories, like, you know, in Japan and other places where, like, you know, it's anime, but now it's on Netflix, right? But maybe it's not on Netflix. Maybe it's on, there's a lot of platforms that are now doing, you know, episodes, or like, you know, I saw one which was an anime and then they did a live action on it and I was like, that's weird. It's almost like verbatim. So there's a lot of stuff out there which are getting made, and I say do it while we're in coronavirus, because these are one of those things that you could do. You don't have to be like, you know what I mean? So just do that. All right. So I hope it landed there, Steph, and I hope you do that, and I think it'll be good. But remember, Writers Guild of America, get used to that. Apply for an account, register your idea as a story, upload it. They have it. They gave you a number. You're good to go for 5 years. Make a record of that. When you do that, go ahead and get it made. You could use, there's stuff like Procreate and other things that you could draw your thing and your creation. You could have someone else do it technically, and then you could be like, okay, this is my idea. Do at least a certain amount of episodes. I say minimum 3. But if you have a whole story idea, break it up so it's not real long, and then you're good to go. All right, so there you go. All right, people, make it a great day, whatever you do. Remember, life is worth living. Live it well. Bye, everyone.